Hello,
Hey
everybody.
everyone.
Welcome to the live.
Welcome to Photofox Live.
Yeah.
I'm Stav,
And I'm Joseph.
and we're here to bring you.
Cool ideas, tutorials, and new techniques on how to be creative and how to use this amazing app.
Yeah, we're here every single Thursday. We usually go over the tutorial from Tuesday. We answer all your questions. We give you inspiration. Sometimes we show off some work that users have done. Sometimes we tell you updates about the app, new stuff that's coming. And what else do we do? We also say hi to people. For example, our friend Sylvia right here.
Hello, Sylvia. What's
Hi,
up?
Sylvia. And yeah, if you have any questions, just let us know. Type them in the comments. I have this computer right here, and we're looking at you. Ask your questions live. So
There's also Chase
our
Mercurio.
friend Chase.
He's saying hi.
Hi again from Georgia.
From Georgia, that's how you say Georgia, G-A?
GA. Yeah.
All right, good to know.
So we have Dina from Tennessee.
Hello.
Hi, Dina. We have Komoko from Myanmar. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Welcome.
And yeah, so let's get started.
I think it's a great idea. Okay, so I really like this tutorial. It's very colorful, and let's check it out. So here it is. We call it Venus. So it's basically a collage, and we make some effects in the background. I would say it's pretty simple, actually. It looks complicated, but it's simple. It's just about having order with your layers, and that's it. So,
We have a quick question before you get
Yes.
started. Our friend Chase is asking if there's a way to save the projects and then send them to others. So I think
save it as a project. You can save it for yourself. But if you want to send it to another person, you have to save it to the camera roll, and then it will be as a JPEG or as a PNG, and then you can share it with other people. But as a project, you cannot share it. At least if you mean by having the layers and all the stuff.
being able to undo and redo.
Yeah.
So no, but that's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
We'll pass that along to our product manager.
Yeah, it could
See
be
what he
very
says about
interesting.
it.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna show you what is the image that we started with, which is this one. Basically, you can use any image. I would recommend you that because we're gonna be deleting some parts of the clothing of the main character, try to have a very clear background, as always. As always, we said it. It's very important to have a clear background, and then you have clear edges. For example, here you can see very clear these edges, and it's gonna be easy to remove them. And also, if you work with high resolution, it's always going to be better to make it look better. Yeah. Okay, so let's choose this layer, and now let's go to eraser. Okay, so we can start just erasing all these areas. Actually, I'm gonna leave this rock on her feet. I think it's gonna be good, and it's all about being patient, you know. And if you need to be more precise, you just zoom in, and of course there are gonna be parts that you're gonna have to maybe turn off your edge avoidance.
And we could talk about that. What exactly is the difference between when the edge avoidance is on and when the edge avoidance is off? That
is a great idea. Okay, so I'm going to show you right here. As you can see, when I swipe with my finger, it doesn't erase the leg, but it does erase the parts that are white, right? As you can see, that's the edge avoidance. It helps you to delete backgrounds or objects and leaving other elements on the photo untouched. So it makes your life easier in order to get rid of stuff and delete. if you go here, you tap here on the corner, and then you turn this last circle, you turn it off and on like this. Then now this means that it's off, and then when I go and try to do the same thing, it doesn't protect the shape of the image. In this case, the hand or the leg, as you can see. That is the edge avoidance. And then you also have all kinds of settings for your brush. For example, you can set your scale, you can set the opacity, and also the feather or the smoothness of the edges of your brush. And
I have a question from So asking if the leg and the background colors were mixed, would the leg be removed?
If the leg and background colors are mixed.
Maybe she means if they're similar.
Yes, the more similar they are, the harder it will be for the edge avoidance to recognize that these are separate elements. The more different they are, I mean, it could be by color, it could be by white or black, or just different colors. And the closer they are, I guess, like if one is orange and the other is red, then they're very close. They're different colors, right? But they're very close,
Similar
so it's gonna be
yeah.
so it's gonna be hard. Also, a small tip for removing the background out of the hair is to zoom out and have your brush as big as possible, and then just go very smoothly close to the hair, and then, as you can see.
And that's with edge avoidance on or off?
Yeah, with edge avoidance on.
Wow. We have a question from Beth asking, when would you want to turn the edge avoidance off?
For example, in those cases when you cannot identify the difference between a shape or another, you see that you're not getting exactly the result that you want, then you might have to do it manually. So you turn it off, and then you can just have the exact erasing that you want. For example, let's do something here. If I turn it off, let's make it as sharp as possible. And let's say I want to erase this part. Then I have exactly the erasing that I want to do. Maybe if I turn it on, sometimes it will work nice and sometimes not, because, for example, here, her dress is with the stripes. Sometimes it might get confused, so you might need to help the brush a little bit. Actually, now it's working pretty nice, but so here you can see a little bit of those. It's kind of having a little hard time identifying the strips. So here I would use here I will turn it off, for example, like this, and then I just get close, and then I just erase.
Cool. So you're erasing all of the background and
her clothing.
And her clothing, so she sort of blends in.
Yeah, so that we want to create that cool effect that she's kind of mixing with the background. Basically with the empty spaces. It doesn't have to be the clothing. I mean, you can erase anything, but I think in this case it looks good.
Beth said, thank you, that makes a lot of sense. So, thanks for answering.
You're welcome.
If you have any other questions, this is the time for you to ask them.
May the questions be asked. All right. So, for example, here you don't actually need to have the edge avoidance, and you can turn it off, and then just wait. Let's go back like this. I'll make it a little bit smaller. And you can just erase normally, and then that way you will make sure that you're not leaving any pixels, because sometimes, because the edge awareness is constantly working and trying to differentiate between shapes and colors, sometimes it might leave some pixels, and then you might not even see it because it's on the transparent layer, because it's just here. So by turning it off, you make sure that you're erasing everything. Of course, I'm not gonna be so accurate, so excuse me for that, but you know.
We don't want to bore you. You get the idea.
Yeah, otherwise this slide would take a lot more time. And we're almost done.
No, we're not.
Well, I'm trying to be optimistic.
So basically this tutorial, what made you think about it? What was your inspiration? Did you see something that you...
Actually, yeah, I was seeing some stuff that it's actually becoming pretty trendy, this whole thing of deleting a specific element inside of the picture, maybe some parts of the body, maybe parts of the face, and then replace it with a texture, with something that is completely unexpected. So I thought it's very cool, and I wanted to play around with it. And this is the result. And it's pretty interesting how just by looking at other people's work, it just makes your head start working and thinking about other ideas. And then, you know, I don't think there is anything wrong about seeing other ideas and then just trying to remake them, because I think that's the way to learn. And then after mastering that technique, you know, you can start to innovate and start to bring your own insight.
We have a comment from Nikki saying that she's having a real problem learning to use the app. So Nikki, we actually have a lot of resources for you to learn the app. So first of all, we have our YouTube tutorials. If you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/UnitedPhotofox, you'll see all of the tutorials we've ever done. I think there's like...
A lot.
There's a lot. I feel like there's definitely over 30. It might be 50. There's a lot of tutorials where you could... Basically, it's just a screen recording of Joseph doing the tutorial. And there's also tools tips. So you can watch it even in slow motion and sort of follow along and figure that out. Then we also have our live sessions every Thursday, like now, where you can tune in. You can ask us any specific questions you have. There's also inside the app, if you tap on, is it a question mark inside the app? Or you pull down the tool.
No, you just, if you drag this here.
Yeah, so if you do this, you can see that within each tool it sort of shows you, this little video that shows you how the tool works or how the feature works, and it changes for each feature. Besides that, we have our support team, which is, we answer within 24 hours. We're always happy to help you. You can ask us anything you like. And other than that, I think just practicing the app really, really helps. So if you just follow the tutorial every week, we always have a new one, and you will get the hang of it. That's how we got so good at the app. We just do tutorials every week.
I would recommend you just see something that you like, or maybe you have an example of something that you would like to achieve with the app or in general, and then you could send it to our support team and ask how can I achieve this look, and then we could show you the specific tutorial that will teach you and help you to create that, or we can give you some tips.
We also have a question from Thiago, and he's saying that he's learning how to do double exposure, and do we have any hints on making a good double exposure?
Yeah.
That is like our thing, double exposure.
Yeah, definitely a thing that we're very much into. I would recommend
First of all, within the app, there's actually a tutorial with a demo photo that you can follow along with, right? The one with the girl with the bird. So if you go to the tutorials that are actually within the app, this is also something for Nikki. There's also tutorials in the app. If you tap on the left-hand corner of the app, there's a little Photofox icon, and then you go down to tutorials.
Remind me to show them after I finish.
We'll show you how to get
erasing.
there, and there's actually a double exposure tutorial there, which sort of shows you how to do it. One important thing is sort of picking the right colors and blending mode, right? If you use something that's very dark in contrast
Yeah.
with something under something with a lot of details, and then you use the appropriate blending mode, that's really the best way.
Yeah, and I would recommend you to start first of all with portraits and with white or very light background and dark portraits or very contrastic ones. And you can also make them a little bit darker in the app. But it's very important to have, at least at the beginning, to start to understand how it works, use these portraits with white backgrounds, and then just start experimenting with different images and how they blending. And usually the blending modes that work best for double exposure are screen or lighten, which are the blending modes that actually what they do, they expose everything that is black, everything that is black on the image. So if you have, for example, you know, a portrait ahead, and then you bring this forest, and then when you apply this blending mode, the forest will be shown only in the silhouette of the face. So that's what basically double exposure is. So we can show you actually the tutorial so you can see and check it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll do one of our next tutorials, a double exposure one. If that's something that you guys think that you're interested in, we can definitely hook you up with a new double exposure. We used to do it a lot, and then we sort of felt like we were doing it too much, but maybe it's been a while. We could do a new one, yeah.
All right, we're getting there.
And we're all on one layer now, right?
Yes. Okay. I think this is good for now. Oh, something weird in her foot. Here I would turn it off, for example, so I can have exactly the shape I want, because it's not clear where the shoe starts or ends. And then again, just get rid of these.
We have Kathy saying, please more double exposure tutorials. So we'll definitely do that for you.
Yeah,
if you have any other ideas, anyone out there for other kinds of tutorials or certain looks that you want to see, you can always send them to us or tell us here. And yeah, we're always looking for new ideas. So
yeah, it's actually been a while since we didn't do them.
We'll do one.
Kind of missing it. All right, now I'm gonna add a new layer, a transparent one. Oh, and before I forget, let's go and I'm gonna show you the tutorials. So if you go here on the backstage, again, if you tap in here, and then you tap on tutorials, then you have here
the first one right there, double exposure.
This is the double exposure one, and as you can see, so you have here the very dark portrait, and then by adding the image and then using lighten or screen, you might need to try it out to see. And then there you go. So check them out. There's a lot of tutorials and very cool ones. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring this this layer back, and I'm gonna fill it in here. This is gonna be our background. Let's tap the check mark. And the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some color to this, but I would like some. I'm gonna use the duo so I can have some nice gradient. So let's go to Tools, change the blending mode to multiply.
Duo is actually a feature that was created to do like two-toned gradient filters almost on photos. But Joseph discovered that you can actually color with it. If you color on white and you use, what blending mode do you use?
Multiply.
Multiply. So it's actually a really cool way to color your photos really professionally. And you get like a pretty rainbow effect, like in... Right.
Pretty rainbow effect, that's right.
So yeah, you should check that out.
All right. Yes. Okay, something like this. Then tap the check mark. And now the next thing we're gonna do, I want to add some mountains to the background, and we're going to do this by adding another picture. So let's go to photo here, and I'm going to look in our, actually I do have an image, but in case you want to go here, you can also find the image here. You can just tap mountain and or whatever, and you can find it on the stock. I'm going to use this image that I have already. I'm going to place it somewhere here, and I'm going to bring it below her, somewhere here, and I'm going to now apply.
That's already cool.
Yeah, it already looks good, huh? And I'm going to apply some different blending mode. So let's see what happens. Whoa, all right, interesting. And you can just play with them. It takes some time to understand how these blending modes work, but you know, by just trying them and seeing how each one works.
Yeah, our best advice is just to play with it all the time. Also try and notice if you're doing the blending mode on a white background, if you're doing it on a black, how it looks with, you know, when you put a certain kind of picture over it, and then just kind of, you'll see things sort of repeat themselves,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to figure it out really easily.
Okay, now I'm gonna add a new layer, a transparent one, and we're gonna add some elements. So let's go to add, and then let's go to elements. So I'm gonna add the 3 strips, and I'm gonna do so in
By
here
starting with one.
with this one, and then just make sure you can just take in mind that you can transform the shape with the transform feature. So I'm gonna get close to it so I can have more control over it. So if you tap here at the top in the corner, you can just drag it and have the shape that you want. I'm gonna do the same in the other corner.
Why are you doing this?
Because I want to have these the strips, I want them to be more thinner.
Oh, okay.
So when I make them big, it will be too thick. I
Right.
already tried it, so
So you know.
I know. So I'm gonna put one here, and then I'm gonna repeat this by tapping the plus icon.
Yeah, it just duplicates the element, and it remembers your changes. So you already transformed it. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it again. So that's super helpful.
And then we can tap the check mark. And also to add a little bit more of interest in this composition, I'm gonna delete part of the, and in here I would actually turn off also the, now I'm thinking constantly when I can
When you
turn
turn it
off,
on and off,
turn it off,
it's
yeah.
good because people want to know.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna erase this, and it's gonna look like it's behind. And now it's gonna be even more
Yeah.
trippy. Let's tap the check mark. And now all that we are missing right now is some pineapples, of
Yeah.
course.
Last step.
Let's merge this so we can reduce the amount of layers that we have.
Right, because with the Pro version you get up to 5 layers. Sometimes you need 6, but then you can just merge your layers together and you're totally fine. So
Yeah.
we actually are working on adding in more layers, so stay tuned for that. Very
That is
exciting.
really great news.
So yeah.
All right, and here I'm gonna very easily delete the background, and we can, and because the edge awareness is deleting everything that is white in this case, so make sure that you didn't erase any internal parts of the pineapple or whatever fruit you're choosing to use. And okay, and now we can place this pineapple somewhere here. Of course, very important, the pineapple. And okay, and now I'm gonna duplicate this pineapple. I like to say pineapple. I just find out.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good word.
Pineapple. And now I'm gonna flip it. And there you go. Now you have a symmetrical pineapple composition.
We talked before about things that are coming up in the app. What?
But
You said something funny and I missed
I'm having fun. No, I'm just talking about pineapple.
Uh-huh.
What?
We were talking a minute ago about upcoming things in the app, and we're working on holiday packs. I think there's going to be in elements and frames and stickers and in
Right.
something else that I can't think of, but they're going to be
Effects,
holiday,
elements?
maybe effects.
Maybe.
And they're going to be holiday themed, and they should be released next week or in like a week and a half. So stay tuned for those. Some of them will be free for everyone. Some of them will be just for pro. So that's something really cool. You can create greeting cards for your friends and send them to them. And they'll probably wonder how you got so creative, and you can tell them your secret.
I'm going to move these a little bit to the left because I feel like it's not centered. And I'm also going to move these.
We have someone saying, So is saying she thinks that making her with a pineapple head would have been cooler.
Mm.
Do you
Pineapple
agree?
head?
Yeah.
Oh.
Replacing her head with a pineapple. Interesting idea. Why don't you do that for us?
Let's do.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Do that for us and upload it here and tell us, show us how
It's
you
a
did
challenge.
it. Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's a
We're
challenge right
challenging
now.
you. We can have people vote on which one is cooler. We're willing to take that chance, I think.
You could
You
never
ready
have.
to lose?
I am willing to see, you know, how far she can go. So here you are, and now let's merge all this. Let's merge it so that we can actually apply some final details, like such as filters, for example.
Yeah. Filters are a great way just to sort of unify your image. And it's important to remember first to merge all the layers together, 'cause otherwise it will work only on the layer that you've selected with your thumbnail.
I'm going to darkroom because, of course, we want to have more details out of our composition. We want to have a little bit more contrast, and maybe the color saturation, maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you can also, I also like to play a lot with the hue at the end to see if this is really the final color composition.
Possible color composition.
Yeah. Because you never know. Maybe you swipe it and then you find out something new. So actually I think this is pretty nice. Yeah. And now let's tap the check mark. We can add some texture with film, of course, to make it look even more like a vintage.
Yeah,
So
makes it look a little bit retro, like a poster from the 80s or the 70s.
a little bit of grain, a little bit of fade. And I think we're almost there. Let's tap the check mark. All we need now is just one more layer with transparent to write down Venus, and we are done. So let's go add and then type. Let's write down Venus. I'm going to write all high caps. I'm going to make some space also.
Why did you decide on Venus?
Because it reminds me the painting of Venus.
I didn't think about that.
That's my version of Venus, of Milo. And
That's small. One cool thing with Photofox is that you can change the fonts after you've already put it on. So you can, type and then you can go and experiment with all the different fonts without retyping each time.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep. We're done.
Dustin is saying he'd like to see a glow option like from Enlight 1. That's also something I liked. It was at the end of Paint. There was the Glow 1 and Glow 2. Do you remember? One was a little bit purple. I remember it. I liked it too,
Wow.
Dustin. I know exactly where it is. I will
Nice.
definitely pass that along because that's something I also really like.
Really?
It made things look like very soft
Really?
and glowy.
Oh,
We're actually
nice.
working on a new and improved painting feature, so
Hmm.
that's also something that's coming soon.
Coming so many
With
things.
a new name, yeah.
What
It's
is
definitely
it?
worth it to go pro because we're
Come
always
on.
inventing these new things to add in the app. We have a lot of stuff planned, really.
This is like a laboratory of cool things.
Yeah.
Of coolness. All right, I think I'm ready to upload this. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
You can give it to me and you can take the questions.
All right.
Beth has a question. I don't know what she means, so maybe you do. Oh.
Instagram. Okay, Beth. Would love to see some more fonts that are like brush lettering. Oh, I know what you mean. Actually,
Neat,
that's
no.
that's a good idea. I think you can never have too many brush lettering fonts. So definitely something that we're gonna take in consideration. We're gonna pass it to.
What does that
our
mean
team.
exactly?
It's a kind of font. It looks like if I understand what you mean. It's like kind of looks like painted, like with a brush lettering.
Like hand painted?
No, like with a brush you make
like texture, like
yeah,
like a paintbrush.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like
Something very simple like that. And
and Nikki is saying pro rules. Yeah, definitely it rules.
yeah, it lets you do so much more. And we're really updating it all the time. We're adding new content packs everywhere. People always ask us what's the difference between pro and free, so maybe we could go over that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the difference is?
Kind of.
We have the pro
Oh.
session, the pro stuff all the time. So
Yeah.
basically with pro, you get tons of more content packs in everything. That means more elements, more fonts, more
presets.
more filters, more
You
brushes,
have more stickers.
effects.
You have more elements. You have more type.
And we're always adding more. Plus, you get more letters,
and layers.
and you get a whole bunch of tools. You get reshape, you get heal, you get film, you get dark
Retouch,
room.
maybe.
No, I think
No,
retouch
retouch
no,
is-
but reshape, yes.
All right.
I
Yeah.
think.
Right. You're right.
So-
Also, some tutorials are pro, but you get them.
Yeah, also there's some pro tutorials. So if you are interested in going pro and you don't really understand the differences, you can always shoot us an email. And I think that's it. I think we're done. And follow us on Instagram if you don't. This is our Instagram. We're also following a lot of you. Everyone that is featured here, we follow. And
A lot of inspiration.
yeah.
And yeah. So I think we're done. But
I think we can wrap it up. Thank you so
thank
much
you
for
so
watching
much.
us. Don't forget to share and like and love and comment
And share and
watch
create.
us next week. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
See ya.
See you. Bye.